May 28, 1998, 3:16 p.m. In the barren, sun-scorched desert of Balochistan, a mountain that had stood silent for millions of years suddenly erupted in a blinding white flash. A roar rolled across the Ras Ko range. Monitors hundreds of miles away register a seismic pulse that shattered New Delhi. An earthquake. No A message. Pakistan had just detonated 5 nuclear devices beneath the ancient mountains of Chagai.
Pakistan today successfully conducted 5 nuclear tests.
That afternoon, Pakistan, a country dismissed as economically fragile, diplomatically isolated, and militarily outmatched, declared to the world, "We exist, we survive, and we cannot be intimidated again." But the story of how Pakistan reached this moment begins decades earlier with a wound that changed everything. The wound, 1971, and India's nuclear awakening. In 1971, Pakistan lost its eastern wing, now Bangladesh, in a war that ruptured its identity. Cities burned, armies collapsed, and the nation was broken in half. For Pakistanis, 1971 was not just a defeat, it was humiliation, exposure, vulnerability, a moment where the world looked away and left Pakistan to bleed. And while Pakistan mourned its loss, India, victorious and confident, embarked on a new strategic journey. On May 18, 1974, India conducted its first underground nuclear test in the Pokhran area of the Rajasthan desert, titled Smiling Buddha. The design was similar to the Fat Man, the bomb dropped on Nagasaki by the Americans in 1945. A calm, almost poetic name for a blast that changed South Asia forever.
Indira Gandhi maintained tight control of all aspects of the preparations of the Smiling Buddha test that was conducted in extreme secrecy.
The decision to go nuclear was taken way back in 1944, even prior to independence. While the British were still ruling India, in 1944 the decision was taken that India should go nuclear. And India started working towards it discreetly from that time onwards. Once India became independent, Nehru tasked at that time Bhabha to start working towards the Indian atomic. Thereafter, many more scientists were brought in: Sarabhai, Setna, Iyengar, Raja Ramanna, and Abdul Kalam came as a DRDO representative when the 71 Pokhran 1 was taken.
The test was a success, but the aftermath of the nuclear test was not encouraging. The test caused an immediate revival of Indira Gandhi's popularity, which had flagged considerably from its high after 1971 war.
The bomb was built with the help of American and Soviet civilian nuclear technology, a loophole in the global system. Islamabad protested, Washington shrugged. The world moved on, but inside Pakistan, something had shifted. Zulfikar Ali Bhutto, grieving the loss of 1971, made a vow: if India builds the bomb, we will build the bomb, even if we have to eat grass. It wasn't rhetoric, it was a strategy. It was survival. The secret race, Project 706, and the arrival of a Q Khan. Pakistan launched Project 706, its own Manhattan Project. But unlike the United States, which had endless money and resources, Pakistan had no industrial base, no uranium enrichment facilities, no reactors, no global allies willing to help. And still, it moved forward. Then came the man who would change everything, Dr. Abdul Qadeer Khan.
The atomic scientist was hailed by many Pakistanis as a national hero for making his country the first Islamic nuclear power in 1998.
Dr. A.Q. Khan is considered a national hero. His work helped the country develop its own nuclear weapons.
A young Pakistani metallurgist working at Urenco in the Netherlands, the world's most advanced uranium enrichment consortium, Khan had access to the very heart of bomb-making, centrifuge designs. In 1976, he returned home, not with papers, not with equipment, but with knowledge that the world's intelligence agencies underestimated. He set up a laboratory in a quiet town called Kahuta, which would soon become Pakistan's most guarded location, using front companies disguised as butter factories, dual-use equipment, shadowy European suppliers, Dubai-based intermediaries, intelligence evasion tactics. Khan built an enrichment network so complex that the CIA would later call it the world's most successful underground nuclear procurement system. But as Pakistan inched closer to the bomb, the world began plotting to stop it. The Israel-India Plan, Operation Kahuta. By the early 1980s, Western intelligence agencies and Israel grew alarmed. Israel had already bombed Iraq's Osirak reactor in 1981. Pakistan, they believed, was next. Israel formulated a plan, known in some circles as Operation Kahuta. Israeli pilots would fly IAF Jaguars. They would take off from Indian air bases. They would fly low under Pakistani radar. They would strike the Kahuta enrichment plant. India's Prime Minister, Indira Gandhi, reportedly approved preliminary planning. RAW began mapping flight routes. Israel trained Indian pilots, but Pakistan was not blind. General Zia-ul-Haq sent India a chilling message. If Kahuta is touched, we will destroy Trombay, the heart of India's nuclear program. And then, for good measure, he added, and after that, it will not be a limited war. The plan collapsed. Israel backed away. India paused. Washington panicked. Pakistan had passed its first existential test without firing a shot. In 1979, British and German journalists exposed Pakistan's nuclear procurement network. The world expected punishment. But something else happened. The Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan. Suddenly, Pakistan was no longer a dangerous nuclear aspirant. It was the frontline ally of the United States. Washington needed Pakistan more than it feared its bomb. Reagan's administration looked away. Aid continued. Warnings softened. The cables changed tone. A US diplomat once joked, "Don't ask, don't tell, and don't explode." Pakistan didn't explode, but it quietly cold-tested its first device in 1983.
We had the capability of testing a nuclear device 13-14 years ago. You see, we started enriching uranium at the end of 70s. In early 80s, we had highly enriched uranium. We did cold tests. We could test the device at any moment, but we did not do it. We did not want to start an arms race.
While the world slept, Pakistan prepared the stage for the final act. The Rasko Hills in Chagai, barren, remote, geologically stable, were selected from early 1980s to late 1990s, teams from the Pakistan Army, Pakistan Atomic Energy Commission, Strategic Plans Division, Geological Survey of Pakistan. They altogether surveyed every inch of the mountains. They dug deeply buried shafts, some descending hundreds of meters. They reinforced them with steel and cement. They installed diagnostic equipment. They transported cabling, high-speed cameras, sensors, blast-proof instruments, all on unmarked trucks. At night, without headlights, under military escort. The tunnels were so deep that scientists said not even a direct airstrike could penetrate them. Villagers nearby were told these were mining projects. Nobody believed it. Nobody dared ask. Pakistan was preparing for its defining moment. But then, India forced its hand. In May 1998, India conducted 5 nuclear tests and declared itself a nuclear state. Prime Minister Vajpayee publicly warned Pakistan, "You cannot match us."
Today, at 15:45 hours, India conducted 3 underground nuclear tests in the Pokhran range.
US President Bill Clinton called Nawaz Sharif 5 times. "Do not test. Your economy will collapse. Your nation will be isolated. You will regret it." Japan threatened to stop all aid. European nations issued warnings. The IMF refused emergency loans. Pakistan stood alone, but its scientists and generals told the Prime Minister, "Sir, if we do not respond, we will live under India's shadow forever." And so the decision was made. At 3:16 p.m., the detonators fired. A blinding flash illuminated the mountains. The Rasko Hills turned white. A fireball expanded underground. Shockwaves spread silently through the granite. The mountains themselves changed color. Pakistan had entered the nuclear club, not politely, not hesitatingly, but with 5 blasts in a single day. In villages hundreds of kilometers away, windows rattled. Children screamed. Men fell to their knees. Mosques broke into spontaneous prayers. Pakistan had matched India. Pakistan had balanced South Asia. Pakistan had survived. In the early 2000s, Abdul Khan's network came under global scrutiny. He was accused of selling nuclear designs to Iran, Libya, North Korea under US pressure, Musharraf placed him under house arrest. Khan appeared on national television and confessed, "The activities were initiated at my behest." The world was shocked. Pakistan was humiliated, but even then, the military refused to hand him over. Because every Pakistani knew, without AQ Khan, there would be no bomb. The strategic question, today Pakistan's arsenal is mobile, hardened, dispersed, secure, second strike capable. Pakistan is no longer the fragile state of 1971. It is one of the world's nuclear powers. But the bomb brings questions. What happens if the next India-Pakistan crisis spirals out of control? How long can deterrence prevent war? Can South Asia remain stable under nuclear shadow? Is nuclear safety truly guaranteed in a region this tense? And the biggest question of all, did nuclear weapons save Pakistan, or did they place a responsibility too heavy for any nation to carry? Pakistan's nuclear program is not a story of arrogance. It is not a story of aggression. It is a story of wounds, trauma, humiliation, genius, pressure, danger, ambition, survival. Pakistan built the bomb because it believed it had no choice. And on May 28, 1998, on a hot desert afternoon in Balochistan, Pakistan told the world, "We will not be broken again."